Vajra. The Vajra is the thunderbolt weapon of Indra, king of gods in Hindu mythology, and a central symbol in Buddhist tradition representing indestructible spiritual power. According to ancient Vedic texts dating to approximately 1500 BCE, the Vajra was created from the bones of the sage Dadhichi, who sacrificed himself so the gods could defeat the demon Vritra who had imprisoned the world's waters. The weapon functions as an indestructible thunderbolt that Indra could hurl at enemies, and it would always return to his hand after striking. Traditional Vajras used in religious ceremonies measure between 10 to 15 centimeters in length and feature symmetrical prongs extending from a central sphere, typically crafted from bronze, brass, or precious metals. The Vajra exists in two primary forms: the Ekavajra with a single point symbolizing the destruction of ignorance, and the Panchavajra with 5 points representing the 5 wisdoms in Buddhist philosophy. In mythology, Indra wielded the Vajra to split mountains and release the monsoon rains essential for life. The weapon represents the intersection of martial power and spiritual authority, symbolizing firmness of spirit and the ability to cut through illusion. Today, Vajras remain central to Tibetan Buddhist rituals, where they're used alongside bells and ceremonies, and the weapon's influence extends to Vajrayana Buddhism, which takes its entire name from this legendary weapon. Ganjiang and Moye. The Ganjiang and Moye are legendary twin swords from China's Spring and Autumn period, dating to 770 to 476 BCE, named after the master swordsmith Ganjiang and his wife Moye, who forged them. According to the records of the Grand Historian by Sima Xian, the king of Chu commissioned Ganjiang to create the ultimate weapons, a process that reportedly required 3 years and demanded rare metals from 5 sacred mountains and water from 5 holy lakes. The swords represent the yin-yang duality fundamental to Chinese philosophy, with the male sword embodying yang characteristics of aggression and sharpness, while the female sword embodied yin qualities of flexibility and resilience. Legend states that the forging required human sacrifice, with Moyi throwing herself into the furnace to complete the swords, though historical accuracy of this element remains uncertain. The twin blades were described as inseparable in power, together capable of cutting through iron like soft mud. Traditional Jain design suggests blade lengths between 70 to 90 centimeters with straight double-edged construction. After completion, the king kept the male sword Ganjiang, while the swordsmith hid the female sword Moye, leading to his execution and later revenge by their son. These legendary weapons established the enduring Chinese tradition of paired swords and influenced countless wuxia martial arts stories, representing the balance of opposing forces, ultimate craftsmanship, and the concept of sacrifice in pursuit of perfection. Kusanagi no Tsurugi. The Kusanagi no Tsurugi is one of Japan's 3 imperial regalia, along with the sacred mirror and jewel, representing the emperor's divine right to rule and currently housed at Atsuta Shrine in Nagoya, though never publicly displayed. According to the Kojiki, Japan's oldest chronicle compiled in 712 CE, the storm god Susanoo discovered the sword inside the body of the 8-headed serpent Yamada no Orochi, specifically within the creature's 4th tail. The blade acquired its name, meaning grass-cutting sword, after Prince Yamato Takeru used it to cut burning grass during an enemy ambush, and discovered he could control wind direction by slashing the air. Historical records suggest the sword follows traditional tsurugi design with a double-edged straight blade approximately 84 centimeters in length, constructed from bronze or ancient steel. The weapon was presented to the sun goddess Amaterasu and later given to her descendants, the imperial line, as proof of their divine ancestry. During the Battle of Dan no Ura in 1185 CE, the original sword was reportedly lost at sea when the child emperor Antoku drowned while clutching the imperial regalia during the final naval engagement between the Taira and Minamoto clans. Whether the current sword housed at Atsuta Shrine is the original, a replica, or a replacement remains one of Japan's greatest mysteries, as no emperor has seen the actual blade during their coronation ceremonies for centuries. Zulfikar. The Zulfikar is the legendary sword of Ali ibn Abi Talib, cousin and son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, dating to the early 7th century CE and serving as a central symbol in Shia Islam, representing divine favor and righteous combat. The name translates to cleaver of spine, or one with a cleft, and according to Islamic tradition, the sword originally belonged to Prophet Muhammad, who received it from the angel Gabriel before gifting it to Ali after the Battle of Uhud in 625 CE. Historical accounts describe Zulfikar as distinguished by a bifurcated blade that splits into 2 points, though scholarly debate continues regarding whether this design was literal or symbolic, with some historians suggesting the forked appearance may represent spiritual rather than physical characteristics. The sword was wielded in numerous significant battles during early Islamic expansion, including the Battle of Badr in 624 CE and the Battle of Khandak in 627 CE. Traditional Arab sword dimensions suggest a blade length between 90 to 100 centimeters, with the curved scimitar design common to the region. Later ceremonial versions featured inscriptions including Ali's name and verses from the Quran engraved along the blade. Zulfikar became the primary symbol of Shia Islam, appearing prominently on flags, emblems, and religious art throughout the Islamic world. The sword represents justice, divine authority, and Ali's status as the fourth caliph and first imam in Shia tradition, continuing to hold profound religious significance 14 centuries after its reported creation. Trishula. The Trishula is the divine three-pronged spear wielded by the Hindu god Shiva, appearing in ancient texts dating from 1500 BCE onward and symbolizing the trinity of creation, preservation, and destruction in Hindu cosmology. The 3 prongs represent Shiva's fundamental powers of will, action, and knowledge, while also symbolizing the 3 gunas or qualities of nature, sattva representing goodness, rajas representing passion, and tamas representing darkness. According to Hindu mythology, the Trishula possesses the power to destroy 3 worlds simultaneously, and was used by Shiva to sever the head of Gajasura, the elephant demon who terrorized the heavens. Traditional depictions show a symmetrical 3-pointed design with the central prong often longer than the outer 2, scaled from handheld dimensions of approximately 1.5 to 2 meters up to cosmic proportions in divine representations. The weapon appears prominently in the Puranas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana, where each prong is described as capable of emitting different destructive energies. Hindu tradition credits the Trishula with creating the sacred Ganges River, when Shiva pierced the mountains to release its waters. The weapon is also associated with the goddess Durga, who wields it in battle against demons threatening cosmic order. Today, the Trishula serves as the primary iconographic symbol of Shaivism, the branch of Hinduism devoted to Shiva worship, and is carried by ascetics and sadhus as a spiritual emblem representing control over past, present, and future. Honjo Masamune. The Honjo Masamune is the legendary katana forged by Goro Nudo Masamune between 1264 and 1343 CE, considered the greatest Japanese swordsmith in history and creator of blades, representing the pinnacle of samurai weapon craftsmanship, though the sword has been missing since 1945. Masamune's revolutionary forging techniques produced swords with exceptional balance, sharpness, and beauty, while avoiding the excessive hardness that made contemporary blades brittle, creating cutting edges with minimal tempering lines yet superior performance. The sword acquired its name from Honjo Shigenaga, a 16th century samurai who captured it in battle, and subsequently passed through the Tokugawa shogunate as an official symbol of authority during the Edo period from 1603 to 1868. Traditional katana dimensions suggest a blade length of approximately 70 centimeters with the characteristic curved single-edge design. The sword's last known owner was Tokugawa Ieyasu, who surrendered it along with other Tokugawa family treasures to Allied occupation forces in December 1945, following Japan's defeat in World War II. Historical records indicate the sword was given to an American sergeant, possibly identified as Coldy Bymore, though the name's accuracy remains uncertain. After this transfer, the Honjo Masamune vanished completely from historical record, and its current location remains unknown, despite decades of investigation by Japanese cultural authorities. The sword's disappearance symbolizes lost cultural heritage from the wartime period, and its potential value is considered priceless, representing both Masamune's unmatched craftsmanship and Japan's traumatic post-war experience. Shamshir-e-Zomarodnagar. The Shamshir-e-Zomarodnagar is a legendary Persian sword from the Shahnameh, Iran's national epic compiled by poet Ferdowsi in the 10th century CE, wielded by the hero Amir Arsalan and named for the emeralds embedded throughout its hilt and blade. The weapon appears in the Persian folktale Amir Arsalan and Shamshir-e-Zomarodnagar, where according to tradition the blade possessed magical properties, guaranteeing victory in battle, and could only be wielded by heroes proven righteous through tests of character. Before claiming the sword, Arslan had to complete 7 labors demonstrating his worthiness. as the weapon was guarded by supernatural beings who tested all who sought its power. The sword follows traditional Persian shamshir design, with a curved saber blade measuring between 75 to 85 centimeters in length, distinguished by brilliant green emeralds arranged along the blade's spine and decorative crossguard. According to the epic, the blade glowed with green light when drawn from its scabbard, and never dulled or broke regardless of the intensity of combat. Arsalan wielded Shamshiri Zomarodnagar to defeat sorcerers, demons, and invading armies threatening Persia. The sword represents Persian literary tradition's emphasis on earned worthiness for power rather than inherited right, and contributed significantly to Islamic Golden Age storytelling conventions. While purely a literary creation with no historical artifact, the legend influenced real Persian sword-making culture, which emphasized elaborate decoration, symbolic ornamentation, and the integration of precious stones into functional weapons as expressions of craftsmanship and status. Hu Yi's bow. Hao Yi's bow is the mythical weapon belonging to the legendary Chinese archer Hao Yi from the Xia dynasty period, traditionally dated to approximately 2100 BCE, and central to the famous myth of shooting down 9 suns that threatened to scorch the earth. According to the Classic of Mountains and Seas and the Huinanzi philosophical text, 10 suns rose simultaneously in the sky, creating unbearable heat that would destroy all life, prompting the gods to send Hu Yi with his legendary bow and arrows to resolve the crisis. The bow was described as requiring superhuman strength to draw, with ordinary humans unable to even string it, and was reportedly crafted from sacred mulberry wood, reinforced with dragon tendons. When unstrung, the bow stood approximately 2 meters tall, taller than a man, with draw weight in mythology requiring the force of several men combined. Hu Yi's arrows were made from phoenix feathers with jade tips, and according to tradition never missed their intended target, with each arrow imbued with different elemental powers. Using 9 arrows, Hu Yi shot down 9 of the 10 suns, leaving only 1 to provide light and warmth for humanity. After this feat, he used the bow to slay various monsters, terrorizing ancient China. The bow was eventually broken or hidden to prevent its misuse by those unworthy of such power. This myth established archery as a noble skill in Chinese culture and influenced martial arts philosophy, emphasizing precision, restraint, and the responsibility accompanying great power. Khanda. The Khanda is the traditional double-edged straight sword of the Indian subcontinent, dating to the Vedic period between 1500 and 500 BCE, serving as a central religious symbol in Sikhism and representing spiritual warfare, righteousness, and divine knowledge cutting through ignorance. Unlike the curved talwar common in later periods, the Khanda features a distinctive straight double-edged blade with a wide profile measuring between 4 to 6 centimeters across and a rounded or spatulate tip, with total blade length typically ranging from 75 to 90 centimeters. The weapon's robust construction results in weights between 1.5 to 2.5 kilograms, making it substantially heavier than contemporary swords. In Hindu tradition, the Khanda is associated with the deity Shiva and the goddess Durga, representing Shakti, or divine feminine power in cosmic battles against evil. The sword achieved its greatest symbolic importance in Sikhism, where it features prominently in the Nishan Sahib religious flag, and gives its name to the Khanda emblem showing 2 kirpans flanking a central Khanda with a chakra circle. During the Sikh Khanda ceremony of baptism, Amrit is ceremonially stirred using a Khanda blade. Medieval Rajput warriors favored the Khanda for heavy cavalry combat, exploiting its weight and straight design for powerful thrusts against armored opponents. The weapon influenced the development of European basket-hilted swords through cultural exchange during the Mughal period. Today, Khanda swords appear in museums worldwide, including the Victoria and Albert Museum and Metropolitan Museum of Art, with ceremonial versions featuring ornate gold inlay still used in religious rites. Gichang. Gichang is the legendary Korean spear from the Three Kingdoms period between 57 BCE and 668 CE, associated with General Yulji Mundok, who used coordinated spear tactics to defeat a massive Sui dynasty invasion force at the Battle of Salsu in 612 CE. The weapon's name references dragon imagery, decorating both the blade and shaft, as dragons held protective significance in Korean military tradition. The gichang was exceptionally long compared to standard spears, measuring approximately 3.5 to 4.5 meters in total length, designed specifically for formation fighting against mounted cavalry. The blade itself measured between 30 to 40 centimeters with a distinctive leaf-shaped point, while crescent moon-shaped side blades called wola added an additional 15 to 20 centimeters to the weapon's cutting width, allowing soldiers to unhorse armored cavalry from a safe distance. The shaft was constructed from flexible bamboo or hardwood, providing reactive defense capabilities during formation combat. According to the Samguk Sagi, the history of the Three Kingdoms compiled in 1145 CE, General Ilji Mundok employed Gichang-equipped formations during the Battle of Salsu in 612 CE, where Korean forces defeated a reportedly massive Sui dynasty invasion force. Korean tactics involved coordinated spear walls that blocked cavalry charges, with the Gichang's exceptional length of approximately 3.5 to 4.5 meters and crescent moon-shaped side blades adding 15 to 20 centimeters of cutting width, allowing infantry to unhorse armored cavalry from safe distances. Dragon decorations carved along the shaft in red and gold were believed, according to Korean tradition, to invoke protective spirits during battle. This tactical innovation enabled outmatched Korean forces to defeat numerically superior Chinese armies and established Korea's reputation for innovative military strategy. Katar. Katar is the unique Indian push dagger with a distinctive horizontal H-shaped grip. Developed in South India during the medieval period between the 1400s and 1500s CE, representing a radical innovation in close-quarters combat that combined punching mechanics with blade work. Unlike conventional daggers designed for slashing, the Katar's horizontal grip allows a punching motion with the blade extending directly forward from the knuckles, concentrating the wielder's full body weight behind each thrust for exceptional armor-piercing capability. Blade lengths varied significantly based on intended purpose, ranging from 15 centimeters for concealed carry to 90 centimeters for battlefield use, though most combat Katars featured blades between 30 and 45 centimeters. The distinctive H-shaped grip featured parallel bars typically spaced 10 to 12 centimeters apart to accommodate a clenched fist. Some sophisticated versions, called Jamadhar Katara, incorporated mechanical triggers that caused the blade to split into 3 points upon activation, creating larger wounds and making the weapon difficult to extract from an opponent. Rajput warriors and Mughal nobility favored the Katar for close-quarters combat, often combining it with wrestling techniques from Kalaripayattu and other Indian martial arts. The armor-piercing design concentrated striking force onto a small point, making it effective for exploiting gaps in armor at joints and weak points. Blade lengths varied considerably from 15 to 90 centimeters, depending on intended purpose, with most combat versions featuring blades between 30 to 45 centimeters. Ceremonial Katars were heavily decorated with gold, jewels, and intricate enamel work. The Katar represents South Asia's unique contribution to blade weaponry, being the only push dagger to achieve widespread military adoption. Muramasa blades. Muramasa blades are legendary katana created by swordsmith Muramasa Sengo during the Muromachi period from 1501 through the 1580s, gaining a reputation as cursed swords that brought misfortune specifically to the Tokugawa clan and compelling wielders toward violence and bloodshed. The sword's dark reputation stems from a series of coincidental deaths within Tokugawa Ieyasu's family, including his grandfather and father, who were both killed by Muramasa blades, Ieyasu himself suffering a cut while examining one, and his son Tokugawa Nobuyasu being ordered to commit seppuku using a Muramasa blade. These incidents led the Tokugawa shogunate to issue official edicts ordering Muramasa swords destroyed, defaced, or hidden, with many owners removing or altering the signature tang markings and re-signing them with different smiths' names to avoid confiscation and destruction. Despite their cursed reputation, Muramasa's technical quality was exceptional, producing blades with sharp, hard edges and distinctive, irregular tempering patterns that modern sword experts describe as appearing violent or aggressive compared to the calm, flowing lines of Masamune's work. The taboo created by the shogunate made surviving authentic Muramasa blades extremely rare, with modern estimates suggesting only 20 to 30 genuine examples exist today. The swords allegedly possessed a bloodthirsty nature that would cut without the wielder's conscious intention, contrasting dramatically with Masamune blades, which were considered righteous and benevolent. This legend demonstrates the power of superstition in samurai culture and the tension between craft excellence and perceived supernatural danger. Surviving Muramasa swords command extraordinary prices among collectors, and the cursed blade concept has inspired countless fictional cursed weapons throughout Japanese media and global popular culture. If you want to see more, click the video on screen now.